here we are again talking about our great friend Elam. I wouldn't consider this an update video. I'm not going to entirely reintroduce you to Elam, but this video is going to be a final definitive look at him. I am hoping, unless anything crazier happens or comes out, that this will be the last time that I ever talk about him on this channel. I want to leave this all behind me. This is going to conclude the first arc of my channel, the mucus arc. If you don't know who Elam is, he is about, if not very close to, 20 years old. I found him on TikTok myself, found some very disgusting habits of his, and decided to share them online. In my first video on Elam, I never encouraged anybody to attack him or anything of the sort. I never defamed him, I never made any accusations towards him. I just pointed out the fact that it was pretty gross, and at the end I even had a call to action to him to get better. If you want a brief summary of him, he lives at home with his caretakers. He does nothing all day every day except for post on TikTok and YouTube, of which he rarely finds the motivation to even do those. He plays a lot of video games as well. He has a wall that he calls his mucus wall. He, very predictably with the name, wipes boogers on it, snot on it, shoots snot rockets, and spits on. Very sanitary. Everybody has a mucus wall, right? He lives in absolute filth, and he sometimes even blames it on his wealth, or lack thereof. I have been poor the majority of my life, and I don't understand what the wage threshold is of having a mucus wall. Like you're working 40 hours a week, bringing home $600, then it gets cut down to $550, and you're like, oh, guess I gotta start wiping boogers on the wall. A lot of the things that he does that are what most people would consider disgusting are things that have nothing to do with your wealth and only have to do with your laziness. I have a theory about Elam. I believe he's one of two things, or technically one of 2.5 things. Either one, he has horrible confrontation issues, or two, he is diagnosed with BPD, which is bipolar disorder, or 2.5, he has it but isn't diagnosed yet. I honestly couldn't tell you which of the three this is. The reason why I bring this up is because after I would make this video, he would go on and have some responses. These would be covered in my second video on Elam. Like his long comment that he would make on the video, pretty much addressing that, yeah, he knows that he needs to get better and he's going to start working on it. He would then make TikToks about working on it.
Look, I tried to scrape it all off. I couldn't scrape that off. That's just glued on, but I got some of the ones that are up here. Mostly, the stains are still there from when it's soaked in, I guess. I have no idea.
All the while, he would be breaking down in his Discord server, talking about how much I ruined his life and he's just going to give up. Not that he was going to give up life, but he was going to give up, YouTube and TikTok. He would even say in these messages on Discord that he had flagged my videos and wanted to get into contact with me to take them down. Now, I can assure you that nothing that I said in any of those videos was defamatory or bullying or harassment. That would have been false flagging. And trust me, we will get into the repercussions of that. But another thing I want to point out is the fact that somebody in this Discord server decided that they wanted to dox me, and they would give a false dox saying that I live in Chicago, Illinois. I don't know what the fuck. I can tell you right now, I don't live in Chicago. I live pretty damn far. In fact, I'm gonna dox myself right now. The type of videos that I make, I will have people that are gonna be out for me. So let me just say it right now and beat you to the punch. For any future people that want to dox me, I, Jamari Prescott, live at 339 Lloyd Street, Akron, Ohio. Zip code 44301. Moving on, I would create an email address and release it for anybody that wanted to contact me, not only about the current stuff that was going on with Elam, but anybody that wanted to message me about anything, or especially lolcow suggestions, which you can do, by the way. pouboycowentries@gmail.com. I'll link it first in the description if you just want to copy and paste it. But Elam would message me telling me he wants me to make no more videos on him. But then I would read his comment. Now, Elam's main weakness is not knowing how to shut the hell up. I am glad that Elam is as stupid as he is, because if his mouth wasn't so wide, then we wouldn't know these horrible things that he's done. No one ever exposed him of anything that he did except himself. He folded under no pressure in my comment section and admitted to being a part of a Discord server full of underage children and sending, well, he would even literally say that he committed a felony, and in those previously mentioned Discord screenshots, he would admit to it again. Maybe I shouldn't have made a video about Elam in the first place, or somebody like Elam, someone who hasn't done anything wrong. And when I was first reading these comments about that, I decided maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should really only use my platform to talk about people that have done horrible things. I'm just gonna be 100% transparent with you guys. I am a lot more of I'm talking like it's just me and you, right? I'm not gonna say like, oh, he was soliciting minors with inappropriate text messages and photos. Phrasing it like that desensitizes people so much because it just makes it sound way less bad than it is. I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you guys. He was sending little kids, little boys and girls, he was sending them porn. How does that make you feel? What emotion did I just trigger whenever you heard that? Does it still make you feel sympathy for this guy? Because the sympathy that I did have for him, that was real. I don't just make a video about somebody and then not give a fuck afterwards. I care about what I'm doing, and that respect that I had for you, Elam, is thrown out the window. I do not care about you anymore. So in my reply to his email, I would tell him that I no longer cared about him. I no longer wish to see him get better. I wouldn't wish harm on somebody, but I certainly still don't stand by that big nice statement I left at the end of my video. And then I also brought up the fact, and I hate to be some dickhead that makes empty threats over the internet. I don't want to sound like some internet tough guy. If I make a mistake in a video and I've said too much information that somebody's trying to keep private, or if I'm being too harsh on somebody that doesn't deserve it and I'm really bullying someone, then yeah, I take full accountability for that, but that did not happen. So trying to flag my video and getting it taken down is false flagging. I know that in cases like this, YouTube doesn't do anything, and then this never goes anywhere because people are too usually scared to go to court. I don't care if I had no financial gain taking you to court. I would at the very least be able to get you in a courtroom because of the interruption of income that you would be causing to me. And the last place you would want to be is in a courtroom with me and all the evidence of you sending porn to little kids. So maybe not for you, but I suggest for the sake of your caretakers that you do not continue to do this. And I know that this is way less of a chill video because this is something really fucking serious and really current, and it matters to me because I'm the person who started this and uncovered this. This is like my personal case, you know what I mean? This is my cereal. This is my white Bowser. After I would send my email, Elam would reply with 15, because this is what he does. He doom scrolls, doom refreshes, whether it be on my emails or my YouTube. He is obsessed. He says here that he's going to make one final message, and then he says another comment where he's going to make one final message, but then he deletes his TikToks, and then he comes back, and then he's deleting them again. I mean, right here, this is my latest video. This is my chibi video. This has nothing to do with Elam, but he still makes 3 comments on it, nothing to do with himself, and talks about how cool my video is and how cool my channel is. This guy, he's a fucking fan. And I don't say this, and I probably will never say this again because I'm not a fucking dickhead, but I mean, come on, it's writing itself. I can make a video on one of these people and they'll break down in their server about how much it's ruining their life, even though it's not very much of a glamorous life to begin with. They'll keep watching. So, I mean, come on. You gotta subscribe. Anyways, now even though he would eventually go back into the comments section and say that there was an age check on the Discord server, he would admit that that was a lie in my emails. Elam, I think there is a conflict within you. I feel like you are a bad person, that you do bad things, and you want to cover them up. And then I also think that there's a person inside of you that wants to tell the truth and wants to be caught because you want to have a better life and you want to change. Personally, I can't say whether or not what you deserve, because quite frankly, I don't think it's up for me to even decide. I don't care though. In my mind, you will always stay the same, whether you change or not, because it doesn't matter to me. And when I say that, I mean, I'll probably continue to make one-off little jokes about you. And if anybody ever brings up or mentions you to me, I'll just think, oh yeah, the guy with the burger wall that talked to little kids. I'd appreciate if I was wrong and that you could maybe change, but I don't want updates. I don't want you to keep emailing me or contacting me. And I'm sure you probably want to have one last little comment. Just give it up. It's done. Elam, I want this to be over just as much as you do. I wish that you didn't do these horrible things. I wish people could have made the argument that I was honestly being too harsh on you, but I was proven right and wrong at the same time. Then again, I don't know if he's doing all this stuff to try to befriend me or something. Maybe in the hopes that he'll get some flack off his back, and maybe I'll be like, oh, he's a cool guy, I'm gonna take down the stuff, or I'm not gonna believe the stuff. This guy's a super fan. Superfan 99. He went into the description of my last video, saw that I mentioned I'm gonna be making a video on J-Sonic, and provided me with stuff to talk about for him. I can't even just say that I hope you do better because you've never done anything physical to a woman. Maybe nothing has come out of you inappropriately, like groping someone, but you certainly are a little too touchy with women that want nothing to do with you. I saw a comment on my first video of him that kind of exposed something that he did, and a lot of these, not all of them, but a lot of these are legitimate comments saying that they went to school with him. And if you're wondering why, it's because Elam used to go to school just a few years ago, and a lot of these people that have bad stories about him also happen to be people that were freshmen at the time. Elam, that's not a good look. So they're still in school, so somebody found my video from his school, posted it, so now everybody at his school knows about it. And he's even backing it up. He's even saying like, hey, I know you were some shit like that. And one of them was about a story of a freshman being creepily approached and touched and got underneath a blanket with. I honestly didn't believe it when I first read it. This was before I created my email so people could send me evidence or proof of anything. So some guy got so desperate to show me this proof, since I have no other forms of communication tied to this account, that he set it as his fucking profile picture, the photo evidence of him doing this with this girl. I mean, dude, come on. And even though most of them don't have evidence, the fact that this was backed up with legitimacy, including the fact that we know those other people are actually from his school, makes me really believe them. And some of the stories that I heard from these people, Elam, aren't good. Elam, I don't know what I want for your life. I don't care. All I know is that I want it to take place far from mine. And with that, we will end the mucus arc of the channel. I'm sorry I don't have any clips at the end of the video that I usually just throw in that are funny. The only clips I have are all the ones I showed in the last video because as soon as I posted it, he took his account down. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. See how easy it is to find other things to do as a YouTuber that don't involve messaging little kids? Like, honestly, I've never felt the urge to. And I'm not saying that as if it's some accomplishment. It really is the bare minimum.
Common Earl out.